Hey YouTube. Well, today I am in the town of Ely, Nevada, and I'm going to be here for a few days, so you're going to see a few more videos, a couple different places I got to check out. Excuse the voice, I don't know what's going on with it today. Right today, I am in the White Pine Museum, and is small town museum with all kinds of well, different exhibits. There's a lot inside, and I'll work my way around, and I'm just glad that didn't happen to me on the way here. So we'll walk around, we'll see what I can find that's interesting, and then we'll go outside and check that out. Like many small town museums, they got a real eclectic collection. And I was looking at these toys in here, and then I realized these are from my childhood. Mighty Mouse, Donald Duck, Pebbles, and Bam Bam. They were kids' shampoo. And I always liked the Native American baskets. How they're made by different materials around different parts of the country. These are Shoshone. So you ever wonder how they form the hats and stuff? For the crown, for the brim, their blocks. Be able to do that. And then the same kind of thing with shoemakers, tools, make different size and then make the shoes around them. So the natural history part of the museum has got a lot of various stuffed birds and animals and rock squirrel and golden eagle. Get an idea how big this thing is compared to me. The owl looks like it's a little worse for wear. Same with the bobcat and the mountain lion and kittens. The kittens were captured during deer season in 1937, and they only captured 2 of the 4 kittens, and to the surprise behind the mother lion shot the angered beast to save their lives. Yeah, well, you start stealing mama's kittens, she's going to get a little ticked. Real prize is that in 1982, some guys exploring a cave found some fossil bones. They found 1 bighorn sheep, 1 grizzly, 3 black bears, and 2 giant short-faced bears. They lived about 12,000 years ago, and they had an emergency expedition for the Forest Service to recover the bones, and this gets an idea of what it looked like where they found them. You can see the big bones scattered around. This was been from the giant short-faced bear, and they said that the let's see, up in here, a lot of the magnesium oxide deposit associated with the decomposition of a carcass. They did some carbon 14 dating, and it was inconclusive as to the actual age. They figured that there was contamination from the water in the cave, because the bones were found partially in and out of the water, so they may have been over 12,000 years, flooded a few times. But what they were able to do was very carefully take and make casts of the bones and be able to build a complete skeleton of the giant short-faced bear. And just to get an idea, that's my hand, and the thing stands like 5 feet tall and could stand on its hind legs. I think they figured it would be, I forget how tall, about 12 feet, I think. But very shorter snout, and the molars back here, they figure that they don't think that a bear could get to be this size living on meat only. And it's really not made to run. So they think it was mainly herbivorous. Although with these front teeth, like this front teeth here, definitely chewing plants, but these definitely made up for flesh. So it may have been a carrion eater or opportunistic scavenger. Chances are it didn't, run down prey. But let's see, here it says on 4 feet, it was 5.5 feet to 6 feet tall. On 2 legs, 11 to 12 feet. I just saw the sign. So I don't care if this thing mainly eats plants. I'm not sure I'd want to run up against one without a slower person with me. All right. A little bit more modern skeleton over here is the mountain lion. And having seen a few cat skeletons in my time, barn cats and whatnot, pretty much look the same, just a lot bigger. Okay, so let's go outside and see what they got out here. Old jail cell from I don't know where or when. There's a nice drilling rig. Not sure how this was powered. This would have been the brakes. They said it was used as a water well drill from 1870, and it was used up into the early 1900s. Definitely got some use out of it. So as I was having lunch, I kept looking at this thing, going, I wonder what was hauled in this. Obviously, it's like a crucible. I mean, you tip it this way, it pours off there. It says it's Treadwell. So it makes me wonder what they were hauling in this. And this has got to be probably the smallest caboose I've run across. So this is the Cherry Creek Depot, and it was built in 1906, and it was offered to the museum 40 years later with the stipulation that they pay the fees to move it, and the elementary school kids here raised the $9,000 to move it here to the museum, and they did that in 1989. So let's take a look at this. So I imagine coming in here and checking in for a train. Wow, 1891 Victor safety bicycle. Look at the chain on that thing, and the wheels are hard rubber. It looks like the brakes just push down on the wheel in the front, and I don't see, unless it's a coaster brake in the back. But boy's life from 1965, I would have been reading that when it came. I'm not going to touch it and flip through it, but I bet you I'd remember some of the stories. There's the office. Watching the old lookout, see down the track in either direction. The station master. And I'm guessing where this is set up that the station master must have lived right here in the back of the station. Ooh. We had one of those with a circular wick. That thing is bright enough you could read by it really easy, which was nice living in the country. And when the power would go off, we'd fire them up and we'd be fine. So well-stocked modern kitchen. So, bet you this lasted somebody a lifetime. And when you get now, if you last 5 years, you're lucky. I want a vacuum cleaner. I'm sure that handle is hand pump. I can't imagine. Now that's a snowblower. I imagine they got to have to be able to cut through drifts that high, taller than the cab. Almost bought one of these things, not this old once. Sure would have been fun. Didn't really need it. Nice collection of old saddles and a side saddle. And a back thing. What's interesting is when they first came up with barbed wire, there was a lot of different manufacturers and a lot of different ideas on how to do it. This is a pretty good collection of the different styles. I think the one we still have around is sort of like that one. But, and I remember seeing some of that Brinks twist on a neighbor's farm. What is this thing? Huh. It's a mower. Some different brands. And of course, the Nazis ruined that one. But what's cool about this building is all these logs are hand hewn. And by the way, this was a stop on the Pony Express, or it was on the route. I got the history of a couple of different ranches down here. Cool tin bathtub. I look back and think to all the stuff that you've heard me say, yeah, I used to have one of those. Well, one we had legs. It was a little newer than that, but it was basically the same thing. And that was given to us as a joke. My brother and I used it as a lounge in our bedroom. And the guy, friend of the family who gave it to us as a joke, didn't expect us to hang on to it. Always wonder what happened to that thing. And this one-room log schoolhouse from Baker, Nevada. It's at least 100 years old. Looks like they chinked it with cement at some point. And we've been in a number of schoolhouses over the years. But this is probably the smallest one. You got a double desk here. I'm pretty sure there was not a whole lot of kids coming to this, but I've always been interested in what books they got here. A Modern Wonder Book of Knowledge. I would love to go through that. Kipling. Tom Swift and his big tunnel. All kinds of cool stuff. Tom Swift among the diamond makers. I'd love to read some of these old ones. I need to start going to used bookstores. So this coat was made from a bay horse, and it hung down low enough that there's overshoe buckles to keep the split bottom around the legs. So I'm sure winters up here get a little cold. And this cabin is the Gilbert family cabin, and the Edwin Gilbert was the local sheriff for a long time until he was killed. Small cabin, just 2 rooms, bedroom, kids slept in the same room, and everything else room. Although there's a back door here, and this is a hand-operated mangle. You don't know what a mangle is? It's basically a big iron without the heat. It'll just flatten your materials out, from my understanding. Some of the things from around a mine elevator, but they probably same thing and bring up the ore for the ore carts. Like that. Even bigger. Bring it up, run it over, dump it down. Bring it up out of the mine, dump it down into the ore cart like this to take and roll off to the crusher or overburden off to the slag heap. So, I like that picture of the cave bear, the giant short-nosed cave bear. I don't know. Looks like somebody took away his veggies. All right, well that concludes my visit here to the White Pine Public Museum in Ely, Nevada. And I was going to go check out a giant open pit mine, but I guess they shut down the overlook. So I don't want to pull up to the gates and just look at big piles of overburden. So I'll get back on the road and take you to someplace else tomorrow that's around here. Be a lot of fun. Safe travels, my friends. I'll see you down the road.
Jumped off the wagon